Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you to this session on sustainable practices in Industry 4.0. Why is this topic really become important? I just want to read out something I've opened on my cell phone because sustainability is now very closely linked to our global warming that is happening. So, why are the weathers so severe? Simply put, changes in the global climate have escalated the climate hazards and amplified the risk of extreme weather disasters. So, increases of air and water temperatures lead to rising sea levels, supercharged storms, and higher wind speeds, more intense and prolonged droughts and wildfire seasons, heavier precipitation and flooding, and the evidence is overwhelming and the results are devastating. So, in the last year itself, the number of climate related disasters have tripled in the last 30 years, we can see. Uh, and the sea level is rising 2.5 times faster in the last 10 years. And more than 20 million people are forced out of their homes due to climate change. And the United Nations Environment Program estimates that adapting to climate change and coping with damages will cost developing countries 140 to 300 billion dollars by the year 2030. So these are some of the startling figures and data that brings the importance of this topic for all of us. And we are all aware of the recent disaster that has taken place in the state of Kerala, Wayanad, where we really feel so sad that more than 150 lives were lost due to the landslides. There have been cloud bursts in so many areas in India, and they keep happening almost every year, which brings the importance of taking care of sustainability and the climate change. Even if we start now, it's going to take quite some time before we can really see the reversal of the damage that we are doing to the planet. So, how does this impact us, and what is our responsibility as technical professionals in colleges and those working in industry? I just switch off my camera so that I get more bandwidth. Yeah. So we have also, in fact, the responsibility on us is how can we really practice sustainable ways of manufacturing, sustainable ways of carrying out our business, and the industry 4.0 technologies. So the reason this is important and the accountability that is there on all of us is now that we are looking at this space of industry 4.0, it is a wonderful opportunity to see how industry 4.0 can help all of us to look at this issue and adopt sustainable practices. So you all have been attending the learning session since the 29th of July, the beginning of this week. And I understand that some of the topics covered have been augmented reality and blockchain techniques, application of additive manufacturing, role of machine learning, harnessing the power of IoT. So all these and many more technologies are being leveraged for ensuring that we are doing business in a sustainable manner. So let us start with looking at the objectives of this session. Okay, the session objectives. So in this session, we will first try and understand the meaning of sustainability in brief, and then look at the challenges we are facing as a result of not following sustainable practices. We will then look at the role that Industry 4.0 can play in promoting the businesses and the prosperity for all of us while protecting the planet. All the member countries that form the United Nations have come together and have formulated the goals for sustainable development. And we shall see what these are. We will also see how Industry 4.0 techniques can help in sustainable development. So let us broadly understand what sustainability means. So sustainability manufacturing refers to designing, producing, and delivering goods in an environmentally, socially, and economically responsible manner. And it's important that we do business taking care of all these three elements. So you can see in the slide the three P's of sustainability, which is people, planet, and profit. So while we are actually earning our profit, we need to be aware that we are not in any way damaging the planet, and we are not in any way exploiting the people and causing them harm. In fact, we have to do the other way. While earning our profits, we have to ensure that we upkeep the planet, make it better, and help people come out of poverty and live a better life. So, sustainability can be defined as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. So when we are setting up businesses to earn profit, we should see that we are not damaging the planet by extracting the resources irresponsibly. We should not be polluting our environment or damaging the ecosystem. Similarly, we should ensure that we are taking care of the society. There should be targets to eradicate poverty. We should not be exploiting people to earn our profits. There should be equal opportunities given to everyone to live with dignity. Similarly, the people living on the planet should also continue to do business and create wealth for themselves and for the society. So, this progress should continue because unless business continues, society will not be able to exist. So, while living on this planet, we should be responsible to ensure that we preserve the ecosystem. So when we go about living and doing our business, we have to consider all these three. And when we do this, we can say that we are living a life in a very sustainable way. We are manufacturing, we are doing business in a sustainable way when we take care of all the three elements shown in this slide. So to understand this, let us see what are some of the unsustainable practices that can exist and are existing, and understanding these will help us to take preventive actions for sustainable existence. So if we look at some of the unsustainable practices, we can start with the excessive energy consumption, which is in our manufacturing and other processes that come in our value chain. So many of our processes are not efficient enough, and we'll end up consuming excess energy, which means we are going to be extracting more energy, maybe fossil fuels, maybe other fuels, and which is going to be a waste. Many a times we are not using water intelligently, we are not recycling it or using the optimum quantity or not storing it properly. Many a times water gets wasted when we pollute it and it becomes not fit for use after that pollution. A lot of single use plastics are being used, packaging is being used, which is actually generating waste and indirectly also consuming more resources. Air pollution is happening due to manufacturing activities, ill maintained vehicles, fires, etc. The lack of responsibility towards waste generation is increasing because the waste load of the planet is increasing and making it difficult to manage. So generating waste is also wasting our resources. So if we look at the supply chains, we will come across many areas where we are wasting energy in logistics, packaging, and even the management of the supply chain itself is leading to a lot of waste in terms of resources and energy. Rampant exploitation of natural resources has led to reduced number of trees. The mines are getting drained, exhausted, and poor labor practices is leading to exploiting the people. It could be leading to inadequate health, wealth distribution, mental health issues, etc. We have already discussed about single-use plastics and packaging. Some more cases of the impact of unsustainable practices is that unsustainable practices are going to lead to damaging our planet and taking a toll on the people. So it is also less profitable in the long run, because when we are using excessive energy, when we are wasting resources in terms of packaging, which are just one-time use, all this is also draining our profits. And if we can reverse that, we can be more profitable. So it does not make business sense to continue in an unsustainable manner. So today we are faced with climate change, as we discussed in the beginning, as a result of unsustainable development practices. So we must focus on environmental sustainability moving forward. Our industrial practices have resulted in increased greenhouse gas concentrations, and as a result, global warming that harms Earth's natural habitat and human prosperity for the future. So, if our unsustainable development continues, future generations will have to bear the environmental burden which we have created for them. So, some of the environmental issues because of unsustainable practices create what we can say extreme weather patterns. We have seen the recent devastation, as we discussed, in Wayanad, Kerala, where more than 150 people have died due to heavy rains and landslides. The devastation of ecosystems is also leading to less forests, soil erosion, and many animal species are getting extinct. Lack of food for the people, as the cost of production of food is going up, and there's not enough also for all the people to eat. So all these things are making it very unaffordable for people to exist. Water is becoming scarce in many areas, and there are public health issues due to pesticides being used, air and water pollution. So all these this are the impacts of unsustainable practice. So this has become a very big challenge, not only for us in India but across the globe. And for quite a few years, the United Nations has been coming together to discuss and see how we can tackle this problem, because uh, the problem of pollution and global warming actually spreads all across the world, and everybody has to be accountable for this. So all member countries of the United Nations organization have been coming together over the past years, and they have jointly agreed on to 17 sustainable development goals, and we will see these goals that are related, that we need to take care of in our strategies. So the sustainable development goals are related to the people, the planet, and the way we do business. So if you see, the first one is they have decided to take up a goal where there will be no poverty. We need to reduce or remove poverty from the planet. There should be zero hunger, so there should be food for everyone. There should be good health and well-being for everyone, quality education for each person, gender equality should be there, and clean water and sanitation for the people. So these 1 to 6 goals that the United Nations has decided for all the nations is related to the people's element. Now, if we look at how businesses should also target sustainable goals, so the first one is affordable and clean energy use, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure should be sustainably managed, reduce inequalities due to wealth creation and unequal wealth distribution. Sustainable cities and communities need to be made, and responsible consumption and production. So, responsible consumption of resources, and products need to be manufactured in a sustainable way. So, the goals from 7 to 12 are related to the industry practices. Then, few goals are related to the planet. So, the climate actions, people need to take actions for that. Actions related to life below water, how do we preserve it? Life on land, how do we preserve that? And then there are two goals which talk about maintaining peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnering among the nations for achieving these goals. So the United Nations is nothing but the group of all the nations, the member nations. They have decided that in their respective countries, they will consider all the 17 goals in their strategies, in their long range plans, and ensure that they take on their responsibility of tackling sustainability, or bringing in sustainability. So this becomes the goal for everyone, and there is a reporting mechanism. So this actually boils down from the nation, then to the companies, and companies are also responsible to take on these goals. They have to submit an annual report on how they are handling or taking action on these. And when it comes to industries, that is where technologies like Industry 4.0 are going to help those industries to take action in a sustainable way. So whatever they're going to be manufacturing, their entire supply chain, they need to look at from these lenses as to how are they going to achieve these global goals through their own goals of the industry. So what are the goals for Industry 4.0 when it comes to sustainability? So with this brief background and the concern that we have seen, let us move forward as to what can be done or what we can do in this space. So the goal, so while we are listing some of these technologies here that can be used, we will be discussing some of them in detail in the subsequent slides. So I will be just quoting some of the technologies which you have heard now by from the earlier sessions also. And it is also important to note that one particular technology can take care of multiple goals. So if a technology is taking care of, say, energy saving, it is also going to take care of resource conservation or optimized utilization of resources. So multiple goals get solved or achieved through one individual technologies. So, with these goals in mind, the first goal of Industry 4.0 in sustainability could be energy efficiency and reduction, where we minimize energy consumption through optimized production processes and energy efficient technologies. This can be done by using smart grids, energy management systems, real time monitoring to reduce energy usage, and also integrate renewable energy sources. Another goal is to minimize or maximize resource utilization and reduce waste. So some of the methods that can be adopted are by applying predictive maintenance, just-in-time manufacturing, advanced analytics to optimize resource use, and reduction of material wastage. Waste minimization and management is another important goal which can be achieved by reducing industrial waste and promote recycling and reuse. Some of the ways this can be done is by implementing closed loop systems, zero waste initiatives, and waste to energy technologies to manage and minimize waste. Reduction of carbon footprint is all about decreasing greenhouse gas emissions and lowering the carbon footprint of industrial operations. So some of the ways to do this is by adopting low carbon technologies, improving energy efficiency, and offsetting emissions through carbon credits and renewable energy adoption. Another goal is to create a transparent, efficient, and sustainable supply chain. And some of the ways this can be done is by utilizing the blockchain for traceability, optimizing logistics with artificial intelligence and IoT, and promoting sustainable sourcing practices. Let us look at a few more of the goals that organizations can take, keeping in mind the United Nations agenda. So, one could be circular economy integration. So, we can implement circular economy principles to ensure products and materials are reused. So, in the circular economy is nothing but trying to use as much raw material as possible from the non-usable materials, and taking in from the planet only that much which is required to replace non-recyclable material. So this can be achieved by designing for disassembly. So whenever we design products, they should be easily dismantleable so that we can use them, reuse them again. We can develop take back programs. So once some product is used and is not further usable, we can take that and recycle some of the items. We can use digital twins to optimize life cycle management, so we can predict how long those products can last. Then we can aim to reduce water consumption and enhance water management in industrial processes by using IoT for real-time water usage monitoring, implementing water recycling systems, and adopting water efficient technologies. Regarding environmental impact monitoring, so continuously monitoring and reducing the environment impact on industrial activities, we can deploy IoT sensors, AI for real time environmental monitoring, and use the big data analysis to identify and mitigate environmental risks by doing the analysis in advance. Then we can ensure the health, safety, and well being of employees and local communities by promoting safe working conditions, investing in employee training and development, giving them awareness about the sustainable practices, and engaging in corporate social responsibility initiatives so that they can be directed towards sustainability. We need to foster a culture of innovation to continuously improve sustainable practices. We need to invest in research and development for sustainable technologies, encouraging employee driven innovations, and continuously refine processes for better sustainable outcomes. So, all the Industry 4.0 technologies are going to help us innovate in different ways so that we are reducing the uses of energy and resources. So, what is sustainable manufacturing in Industry 4.0 mean? So, sustainable manufacturing in Industry 4.0 is about integrating sustainability principles that we just now saw in the initial slides. The goal is to minimize the negative impacts on the environment, people, and economy. And more sustainable manufacturing aims to meet present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So, this is why we are going to be aiming at sustainable manufacturing. So, Industry 4.0 revolution has significantly shifted manufacturing practices, promoting sustainability and efficiency by integrating advanced technologies. So, these technologies are going to leverage, and the integration of these digital technologies such as IoT, AI, machine learning, big data, robotics, and automation into the manufacturing sector. So, by leveraging all this technology for sustainable manufacturing, businesses can reduce waste, optimize their processes, and improve their overall environment impact. So, we need to use this technology as much as possible going forward for the betterment of people and the planet, and of course, for the business. We have all heard of the smart factory implementation. So, at the manufacturing stage, Industry 4.0 represents a new stage in the organization and the control of industry value chain, and we call this as a smart factory. So, in this smart factory, we have the cyber physical systems, so your software and the physical systems which form the basis of Industry 4.0. So, for example, smart machines with all the sensors are part of the smart factory. So they use modern control systems, having embedded software systems, and dispose of internet access. So they connect or talk to each other through the internet address and the IoT Internet of Things. So in this way, products and means of production, they get networked and they can communicate, enabling new ways of production, value creation, and real-time optimization. So, cyber physical systems will create the capabilities needed for smart factories. And these are the same capabilities we know from the industrial Internet of Things, such as remote monitoring or tracking and tracing. So, the basic components of a smart factory, or what we call the cyber physical systems, are basically three. The first component is the computing components, which are nothing but the embedded computers, cloud resources, big data analytics. Then we have the networking components, which are nothing but the wireless communications, the Internet of Things. And the third important component is the physical component, which are the robots, the autonomous vehicles, the machines in the factory, etc. So now let us see the different ways that we can achieve our goal of sustainable Industry 4.0 practices. So let us go one by one, and we will see the different ways to achieve our sustainable practices. So while I will be sharing some of the methods by which we can achieve this, however, we can see, as I shared in the beginning, one technology can help in achieving multiple goals. So I may not have repeated all the technologies in each of the categories, but many more can be applicable. So I'm just sharing a few of them. So when we look at energy efficiency and reduction, we can do this by having, say, smart grids and energy management systems. An example could be that Siemens has implemented smart grid solutions that use IoT sensors and AI to balance their energy supply and demand dynamically. So, this helps to improve their grid stability and reduce energy waste. So, this has enhanced their energy distribution efficiency and reduced their energy losses. So, this is a great business case. Then when you look at predictive maintenance, which is nothing but predicting when some component will fail by doing the proper analysis. So General Electrical uses its own predicts or predictive maintenance platform to monitor the health of industrial equipment in real time. So predictive analytics helps anticipate failures, and they are able to schedule the maintenance only when needed and not doing maintenance all the time, but they can precisely say when they have to go and maintain the equipment. And this helps in reducing unplanned downtime and optimizing energy use by maintaining equipment at peak efficiency. Now this kind of maintenance becomes very important in, say, airlines, where every minute is thousands of dollars. So if you have a sudden breakdown, then the flight or the plane is going to be stranded for a long time. But if we can predict a failure, we can do it proactively and we can repair that. So that is how this analytics or the IoT and other platforms can help in predictive maintenance and huge savings. Then, in case of, say, IoT-enabled energy monitoring, a company like Schneider Electrical has its EcoStruxure platform, which utilizes IoT sensors to collect data on energy consumption across facilities. And then, based on this analysis, they will provide insights for optimization. The company has been able to improve energy efficiency through detailed monitoring and making real-time adjustments. So there is no gap in making or taking action to improve energy efficiency. Then we have all seen automation and robotics. So an example would be like BMW employs advanced robotics in its manufacturing processes to increase precision, reduce energy consumption. So robots are programmed to perform tasks with minimal waste of energy use. And of course, in many cases, they're able to replace people, and so that cost also goes down. They can be used in other places, and this has resulted in increased operational efficiency, less waste, and reduction of energy consumption in production lines. Then we have the digital twins. I'm sure you are aware of that. That we can have virtual models created of the actual manufactured ones later on. So Rolls-Royce uses digital twins to create virtual replicas of their engines, enabling detailed simulations and optimization without physical testing. So you don't have to actually create a physical product, then test it, and then maybe modify, create another product, again test. So all this can be avoided through digital twins, where you are having a digital model on which you can do all the trials. So this has helped the company to significantly reduce energy consumption, and it has optimized their operational processes and maintenance schedules. Then we also can look at the AI-driven process optimization, where a company like, say, BASF, a global chemical company, they use AI algorithms to optimize their chemical production processes. So reducing energy consumption and improving yield. So they have been able to achieve enhanced process efficiency and reduce energy usage in production. Let us see a few more of these examples. So, as we are going through the example, the point that comes to our mind is the more we are utilizing these technologies of 4. Industry 4.0, we are doing two things. One is we are protecting the environment, we are protecting the planet, and at the same time, we are making a lot of profits. So, working on sustainability issues is actually a very big business benefit which we need to make people aware of, and for organizations to work on it, which they are working, and more of it can be done. So let us see some more few cases. Renewable energy integration can take place nowadays. Government is giving a lot of subsidy also for wind energy, solar energy, and so many other forms of energy. Google has implemented AI to optimize its data centers energy use by integrating renewable energy sources like solar and wind, by predicting energy needs and managing supply accordingly. So this has helped Google with reduced reliance on non-renewable energy sources and lowered its carbon footprint. Then when we look at, say, variable speed drives, ABB company has installed a lot of variable speed drives in industrial motors, which adjust motor speed to match load requirements, thus optimizing the energy use. So we only consume the energy required as per the load that is there for the motor. So this gives significant reduction in energy consumption and avoids unnecessary energy use in motors. Then we have the smart HVAC systems. So company like Johnson and Control uses IoT and AI to create smart HVAC systems that adjust heating, ventilation, and air conditioning based on the occupancy and environmental condition. Most of us have seen these sensors. So whenever a room is vacant, the lights are automatically switched off. So all these sensors are being used to optimize the energy usage. So these companies, Johnson Controls, could achieve improved energy efficiency and build management and reduced energy, building management and reduce energy costs. In lighting systems, we are all aware of this sensor. So, for example, Philips Lighting employs smart lighting systems that use sensors and are connecting lighting to optimize illuminations based on the occupancy and natural light availability, helping it to lower energy consumption and improve energy efficiency in commercial and industrial buildings. Like we have also seen, say, solar lamps which switch on as soon as it gets dark. So all these technologies are helping to use energy efficiently. Then, say demand response programs. So companies like NLX, an energy solution company, it is offering solutions, uh, offering demand response services that help businesses adjust their energy consumption during peak periods, reducing overall energy use, leading to enhanced grid stability and reduced energy costs. So all these systems are helping optimum utilization of energy. Similarly, blockchain technology, you all have understood what blockchain is from your previous sessions. So IBM and Energy Blockchain Lab have developed blockchain-based platforms for trading carbon credits and renewable energy. So ensuring efficient energy transactions and tracking, which is the uniqueness of blockchain technology. And this has helped to increase transparency and efficiency in energy markets, promoting more and more renewable use of energy. Another area where we all can use Industry 4.0 technologies is resource optimization. In fact, the energy resource optimization we have already seen in the previous slides, and similar other techniques we will discuss in this slide. So one of them could be additive manufacturing. We are aware of the 3D printing technology. So a company like Airbus employs 3D printing to produce lightweight aircraft components with optimized material usage. So this significantly reduces material waste compared to traditional manufacturing method achieved. That they will that the traditional methods achieve. So we have to remember that whenever we are optimizing our resource utilization, we are burdening the planet lesser accordingly, because we will be extracting lesser resources and lesser wastage, lesser use of energy. So this is how resource optimization really helps overall in the sustainability practices. Then advanced analytics and big data. So Procter and Gamble, a company, they use advanced data analytics to optimize their supply chain by reducing the excess inventory and ensuring efficient resource use. So just-in-time practices are also used. Uh, all these analysis can help identify when the components or raw material is required for manufacturing, thus reducing inventory. So this has helped Procter and Gamble to minimize waste and improve resource allocation across the supply chain. We have discussed about smart manufacturing. Bosch uses IoT and AI to create smart factories that adjust production processes in real time to optimize resource use. So, as per the demand, the entire process planning, the entire manufacturing cycle is adjusted based on the data analytics, based on the feedback that they get from the systems. So, they are able to enhance product efficiency and reduce resource consumption. Then IoT enabled resource monitoring. In a way, we have already seen this. So Schneider Electric EcoStruxure platform that we discussed in the previous slide utilizes IoT sensors to monitor resource use, providing insights for optimization and real-time adjustment, leading to better resource utilization. So many of these examples, we will see that it's all about the real-time feedback that is given to the in the entire value chain, so that we take only that action which is needed, and we don't overproduce or overstore things. Then automated and flexible production systems. So Toyota is able to quickly switch production lines to different products based on demand, reducing idle time and resource wastage. Again, another example of strong feedback system which helps organization to align with the demand in the market. So this has resulted in improved resource efficiency by minimizing downtime and optimizing production schedules. Few more examples on resource optimization could be, say, closed loop recycling system, in which, say, Dell has implemented it for plastics in their products by reclaiming materials from old devices to use in new ones. So maybe they have a system where they're able to take back old systems, dismantle it, segregate the materials, which will help them to use lesser of virgin materials, and in turn help resource sustainability, so that we do not extract too much from the earth. So let us remember that each of this technology, as I shared, is giving us multiple benefits. For example, this closed loop system is helping us to conserve energy and also to achieve goal for circular economy. Going forward, we can see that we can manage our inventories using AI. Amazon uses AI algorithms to optimize inventory levels across the warehouse, ensuring that stock levels are balanced with demand. So many a times we are surprised how Amazon is so efficiently able to manage all its logistics, give us update on every shipment, where our product has reached. So all this is being done through AI, data analytics, large data. So the benefits achieved is reducing overstocking and stocking out, leading to better resource management. Then we have collaborative robots. So a company like Ford uses cobots to assist human workers in tasks that require precision and efficiency, optimizing the use of, say, human and machine resources, leading to enhanced productivity and optimized resource use in manufacturing processes. Then real-time production monitoring, again we see an example of continuous feedback. So Siemens MindSphere platform allows for real-time monitoring and optimizing the production process to help improve resource efficiency and enabling quick adjustments to production parameters. Then we can look at even quality control, which can be automated. So BMW employs AI and machine learning for automated quality control, reducing the need to rework and scrap. So giving the organization these benefits, which lead to enhanced resource utilization and ensuring that production processes produce fewer defects. So we want actually zero defects. So all these processes are helping prevent any defects from happening. Another area where Industry 4.0 can be used and is being used is waste minimization and management. So, say smart waste management systems. A company like Rubicon Global is using IoT and AI to optimize waste collection routes and recycling processes. So, increase efficiency in waste collection, reducing fuel consumption, and improved recycling rates. So, all these feedback systems is helping to manage this waste in a very smart way. Then, when it comes to say real-time waste tracking and analytics, waste management company employs IoT sensors and big data analytics to track waste generation also and disposal in real time. So now, in large organizations or large factories, this becomes very useful, and you are able to see it on a screen. The enhanced visibility into the waste stream, enabling better management and reduction strategies. So one is managing waste, but it also gives a lot of inputs as to how where the waste is getting generated the most and what actions we can take to reduce that waste. Similarly, say automated storing and recycling, as you can see in this picture, AMP robotics uses say AI and robotics to automate the sorting of recyclables. So what can be recycled get sorted out, and what can't be goes in the other sorting space. So this improves the efficiency and accuracy of recycling operations and increases recycling rates and reduce contamination in recycling streams. So accuracy of separation is also very important. Then we can look at material flow analysis and optimization. So Toyota uses lean manufacturing principles combined with say Internet of Things and data analytics to optimize material flow and reduce waste in the production process, enhancing resource efficiency and reducing waste in manufacturing. So all these feedback systems is helping organizations with a lot of information that can help them take actions in time. So that is the beauty of all this Industry 4.0 technologies. So when we look at say circular economy practices, so IKEA has committed to use circular economy principles. So all the products are very easy to dismantle and organize. So if you want to even modify a particular product, that can be easily modified by taking the respective components. So designing products that can be easily recycled, it becomes easy to recycle because you can dismantle it very easily, and this leads to reduction in waste through product design and life cycle management. Then product process optimization, we have already seen in the slide where we discussed about BASF. There we talked about energy reduction, but we also see how BASF is using AI to optimize chemical production processes and reducing generation of byproducts and waste. So this also enhances the process efficiency. So all these feedback loops, feedback systems are really helpful. Now let us look at another area where Industry 4.0 technologies can be looked at and implemented. So the area is around reduction of carbon footprint, where we need to see how this can be reduced. So carbon footprint is nothing but the amount of carbon being generated as a result of our business processes. And all this carbon is going into the environment, maybe into the air, water, soil. And this is again harmful for life on land, life underwater. So it's now there are a lot of mandates that have come on carbon emissions, where companies have become very cautious around it, So Industry 4.0 technologies can really help them give the necessary feedback on the manufacturing processes. So one is using renewable energy integration because that is not creating any carbon, and that is the most preferred use. So Google has achieved 100% renewable energy usage for its global operations by using AI to optimize the integration of solar and wind energy. So one is to access or get solar and wind energy, and the other is to use that in a very optimum and efficient way. So Google has done that, and reduction in carbon emissions is from non-renewable energy sources has taken place for them. Then we can look at electrical vehicles. So this is now in a boom. Autonomous vehicles. So Tesla is producing electrical vehicles and is developing autonomous driving technologies to reduce emissions from the transportation sector. This is helping us to reduce the carbon emissions from the traditional combustion engine vehicles. And then, as you see in this picture, carbon capture and storage is also being encouraged. So the company Shell is investing in carbon capture and storage technologies to capture CO2 emissions from their industrial processes and store them underground. So direct reduction in carbon emissions released into the atmosphere. So at least you are putting it down in at the bed of the sea and not in the air. So that is another way of ensuring carbon emissions don't take place. Then you have AI-driven process optimization. We have seen so many examples prior. And when process optimization takes place, processes become more efficient. Then we are using lesser energy, and when we use lesser energy, then our carbon footprint also goes down. So now companies are monitoring their new processes, their new technologies, and carbon footprint monitoring is one of the ways which is a good indicator as to how much of carbon emissions are happening because of your business processes. So this has become a big area now. Then when we look at blockchain for carbon tracking, we have in detail studied this in our previous session. And so IBM and Energy Blockchain Labs, as we discussed, they have developed these solutions to track carbon credits and ensure transparent and efficient carbon trading. So now countries which are developed, now it is believed and said that they have been emitting a lot of carbon due to their development. And now it is their accountability also to help the other nations reduce their carbon emissions, and that is where this carbon credit trading is happening, where you can whatever units of carbon you are saving, that can be traded for money for other companies, because everybody has a target of reducing the carbon emissions. So one is you can do it yourself, or you can help others do it, and you can pay for that. So that is another way of using reducing carbon footprint. Then green building initiatives. So Google's Bay View campus is designed with sustainable architecture, utilizing renewable energy sources, natural lighting, efficient water systems, reducing carbon emissions from building operations. Then fleet management in the supply chain. UPS uses telematics and routing optimization to reduce fuel consumption and emissions from their delivery fleet. So lower carbon emissions from transportation and logistics. And of course, a lot of focus now on waste to energy technologies. So Covanta Energy converts municipal solid waste into renewable energy, reducing landfill use and producing energy. So lower carbon emissions again by replacing fossil fuels. So all our Industry 4.0 technologies are being put to great use in these initiatives. So when we look at sustainable supply chain, a number of initiatives we have already seen in the previous slides, but let's add a few more to them. We have already seen blockchain for supply chain transparency. So Walmart is another example that uses blockchain technology to track the province of food products. So right from the beginning, from the farm to the table, ensuring transparency and traceability. So very nicely using this technology so that there is no problem in the entire value chain. And so this leads to improved food safety, reduce fraud, and enhances sustainability by providing detailed information about the origin, journey of the products. So using the best routes, all these things can be done to achieve sustainable supply chain. Then AI and machine learning for demand forecasting. We have seen also in the previous slides. So again, Amazon employs AI and machine learning algorithms to predict customer demand accurately, so that they can optimize their inventory levels and reduce waste. So all these benefits are being achieved by reduced overproduction and say IoT enabled asset tracking. So IoT enabled asset tracking, Merck uses the Merck logistic giant. It uses IoT devices to monitor the conditions and location of shipping containers in real time. Enhance visibility into the supply chain to reduce losses, to improve efficiency in logistics and transportation. So this entire feedback mechanism is helping organization to make their processes very efficient. Smart warehousing is another. So Alibaba, another organization, utilizes automated guided vehicles. So they're called AGVs. They are nothing but robots, and they will be moving around in the warehouses by getting demand inputs. They will pick up the material from the racks and bring it to the shipping tables. So very less human interference and most efficient way of handling the material. You don't damage the material also. So increase efficiency, reduce energy, less labor, and yeah. So going forward, sustainable sourcing and procurement. So sustainable sourcing, Unilever uses digital tools to assess the sustainability of their suppliers. So organizations are equally responsible that their suppliers also use sustainable practices. They are equally responsible to educate their suppliers to go for sustainable practices. So Unilever does this and uses digital tools to track their suppliers and see how they are becoming more responsible towards environment and social standards. So this has helped them to improve supplier compliance with sustainability criteria and reduce the environmental impact. We have talked about circular supply chains. So interface with global flooring company, they implement circular economy principles by recycling old carpets and using that material to produce new ones. We all have done this even in our lives where we give old material, old clothes, and they will make blankets for you. Similarly, this company uses old carpets to make new carpets, and all the technology is being used to properly segregate the material. So this helps to reduce waste, lower raw material consumption, and enhance sustainability. Then, of course, green logistics, for example, DHL incorporates electrical vehicles and alternative fuel options into their logistic networks to reduce carbon emissions. And so this leads to lower emissions and sustainable logistic networks. Then supplier collaboration platforms where like Siemens uses digital platforms to collaborate with other suppliers and they share their data and insights to improve sustainability practices. So while there could be competition among suppliers, but there's also a responsibility to help each other understand how they can be more sustainable. And this is encouraged a lot in the current scenario so that each person can be more sustainable and enhance the supply relationships. They become good friends and improve transparency. So joint efforts towards sustainability goals can be achieved. A little look at the circular economy integration. Let us look at some examples of how we can use Industry 4.0 technologies for circular economy. We have all understood what it means. So it is all about using reusing the material again and again as much as possible, and only adding a little bit which is required to replace non-usable part. So circular supply chain networks are there. So Renault has implemented a circular supply chain network for vehicle parts. So where it will refurbish and reuse components from end of life vehicles. So many a times some of the examples in our lives have been, refurbished tires we use in our vehicles. So similarly now companies have started refurbishing the material rather than throwing it away and replacing it with new ones. So this helps to reduce raw material consumption and waste from automotive parts. Then eco design and modular products. So we already discussed the example of IKEA designs in the modular furniture, which is very easy to disassemble and reassemble. So we can remove one part which is got damaged and replace it with some other part rather than throwing the entire furniture away. So this technology helps facilitate repairs and reducing waste. So it also increases the life of the product and indirectly reduces waste from discarded furniture. Similarly, reverse logistics. So company like HP has established reverse logistics systems to take back used electronics for refurbishment and recycling. So they will pay you some money in exchange and recycling can happen. So there are policies that the company has come up with, and many companies are doing this now. So this helps to recover valuable material and reduce e-waste. Similarly, material traceability with blockchain. We have seen the example of IBM and another company which is the Plastic Bank. They use blockchain to ensure the traceability of recycled plastic. So where is that plastic moving? How is it moving? They verify their source and ensure that they are reused in the new product. So if you know where the source is of the plastic unused part, then you know where it can be more remolded and put. So this increases the accountability and transparency in material sourcing and recycling. So all this is really of a big help in the current scenarios. If we look at some of the areas in say water conservation, then there are smart irrigation systems. So like John Deere, Precision Agriculture Solutions, they use IoT sensors and data analytics to optimize water use in farming to help enhance irrigation efficiency. As we know, water is already scarce, and if we can really use the optimized quantity of water, then it will help us to reduce water waste and ensure optimal water usage. Then AI and machine learning for leak detection. So Schneider Electric employs AI algorithms to detect leakages and inefficiencies in the water system. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to identify where the water leakage is there if it is a big network. But AI is helping them to put in processes in place to identify this leakage. So early detection of this leakage and repair of this leakage will prevent water loss, and it also reduce the overall water consumption and even the cost for repairing it, because early detection will really help. Then advanced filtration and purification technologies. So companies like Coca-Cola, they have developed advanced filtration systems to purify water used in their beverage production, allowing for reuse and reducing water withdrawal. They are taking care of that because they are using a lot of water. So reduced freshwater consumption is happening, and it is minimizing the environmental impact because of this reuse of water. Then, if you look at AI-driven water demand forecasting, PepsiCo uses AI to forecast water demand in their manufacturing plants, so that optimizing water usage based on the production needs leads to efficient water use for planning, reducing unnecessary water consumption. So absolutely optimized ways, because nowadays if we see businesses also struggling for profit margins, and all these technologies and this industry 4.0 methodologies is really helping them to survive in business with those optimum feedback loops. Smart water grids is another way of using reducing water consumption. So Suez, a company, uses water grid technology to monitor and manage water distribution networks, detecting leaks and inefficiencies. So a lot of data feedback loops they have, and this reduces water loss and improves distribution efficiencies. Just like we have the carbon footprint, there is the other concept which is called the water footprint, as to how much water you are using in your processes to make your products. So Unilever conducts comprehensive water footprint analysis using advanced analytics to identify areas for improvement in water use across their supply chain. So Unilever is using lot of water, and analyzing its entire chain, they are able to find out where the consumption is highest, where wastage is taking place, and this targeted water conservation efforts is helping them reduce overall water footprint. So because water is a scarce commodity, and it becomes important how much water we are using. Then we can look at how employees and communities are being benefited from Industry 4.0 technologies. We can look at the wearable technology for health monitoring. Many of us are aware of this. Many of us must be having this. What it is doing is actually giving you data from your body to your mobile phone or your watches, and alerting you on your health parameters. So variability, and if it is used in organizations, for example, company like British Petroleum, it uses these wearable devices for monitoring the health and safety of their employees in real time. And then they're tracking their vital signs and exposure to hazardous conditions. This helps them to improve workplace safety and also proactive health management. Because people working in hazardous areas will benefit in big way by using these technologies. Then we have the community health initiatives. So Johnson and Johnson partners with local communities to provide healthcare resources and education, leveraging data analytics to identify and address say, health disparities, improve community health, and strengthening relationships with local stakeholders. So all this is being done online. We also know how internet is being used to remotely treat people, get advice of doctors, remote work solution that we were just talking. So Microsoft Teams, we have all been using it, and now we are using Google Meet. So these facilities are helping us remotely connect. We are using videos conferencing. We are using collaboration on these platforms. So these technologies are really helping connect people and increase flexibility, work-life balance, and stress for employees. Then safety trainings with augmented reality and virtual reality. So Walmart is using virtual reality for employee training, simulating various scenarios to improve safety awareness and response. I don't know how many of you have experienced IKEA. They also use AR technology where you can actually virtually place the furniture in a room your size and see how it will look like. So all these technologies are being used there. Then if we see the real-time environmental monitoring, so a company like Shell, it uses IoT sensors to say monitor environmental conditions around their facilities, ensuring compliance with environmental standards and safeguarding community health also. So enhance environmental protection and reduce impact on surrounding communities is being achieved through this technology. Innovation and continuous improvement definitely will happen with all these technologies because they're giving you so much of feedback, and that is very important. So we already talked about digital twins for product development. So Siemens is using this technology to create virtual replicas of their products and manufacturing processes. So it allows for real-time testing and optimization without actually producing the product. So we save on that, and it also speeds up the product development because we can quickly modify the model and change and see the impact or the outcomes. Similarly, collaborative platforms for innovation we have seen. So IBM's Watson Works is a collaborative platform that uses AI to help businesses adapt to changing conditions and innovate continuously. So innovation speeds has increased of cars coming up, so many new models of two wheelers coming up. And how is the speed really gone up? It is all because of big data analytics, because of Industry 4.0 technologies that we can come up with new models very quickly. We have already seen additive manufacturing, 3D printing, so you can quickly make products. So, company like Ford employs this 3D printing technology for immediately prototyping the automotive parts for quick iterations and seeing what improvements can be made in design. So this has really helped in shortening the product development cycles, increasing innovation speed. Okay, so these were some of the areas that I've shared where Industry 4.0 can really help being very sustainable, responsible towards the planet, energy, and of course a big business case to make profits. But it is not so easy. There are certain challenges in implementing these, and let us see what are these few challenges so that we can be aware of them. The first challenge is, of course, the high initial cost. All these technologies are expensive, and these practices often require significant upfront investment. For example, installing solar panels, implementing energy efficient machineries, adopting sustainable supply chain practices. However, we know that this will help in the long run. So companies who can invest in these can really go for it. Otherwise, for small companies, it is a little deterrent. Then lack of awareness and education. So many of the employees who are used to the traditional way of working and not open to new learning. So employees and stakeholders may lack the awareness and understanding of these practices. For example, training programs and workshops are necessary to educate employees about sustainability and how it can help. So this is a big area to be taken care of. Then, of course, resistance to change. Any new technology is going to require upskilling yourself, able to handle data, able to analyze data, and that is a big task. So people will be resisting the change, and they will be reluctant to adopt the new practices and would prefer to stick with the status quo. Measurement and reporting challenges. So accurately measuring and reporting on sustainability initiatives, which is now a mandatory requirement by the government. So collecting all the data from all locations, that again is a challenge sometimes. But I think with the online recording, this may not be such a big challenge now because we can easily get data on our systems. Short term focus on profitability pressure. So when you are going to invest in expensive equipment and expensive technologies, definitely that year your profitability figures will be small. And if people are going to look at short term focus on profitability, then they will keep postponing investing in these technologies. Then balancing sustainability with business goals. So how much of time and energy one will be putting in sustainability initiatives, sustainable development, and how much time to put in business goals. So this is a very top driven decision making process where the senior management needs to put their foot down that we will take on the sustainability development goals and ensure that that is also achieved along with the business. So as I told you, the solutions to overcome these challenges, one I've already told you, and the other is, as I discussed, the ROI, the high long-term cost savings and return on investment is going to be there, which can be brought to the notice of people and the management so that they can adopt sustainable practices. Internal communication to the people on the benefits of adopting sustainable practices will be very important, and this communication channel to share sustainability goals, progress, and success stories, the leadership needs to really support this, make it a very important business agenda so that people are pushed to adopt them and they will also soon realize the benefit of the same. Employee engagement is very important, and this can happen through leadership conversations, through training programs, and further suppliers engagement is important. So supply chain transparency using blockchain and other technologies can be there to improve transparencies and traceability in the supply chain. Supplier engagement, so the more we engage them, the more the total business can lead to sustainable practices. Measuring and leading to monitoring is a very key aspect in Industry 4.0, because what gets measured gets improved or gets controlled. So this is the biggest asset also in this Industry 4.0, because a lot of feedback we are getting from these technologies. This data can be then used for effective implementation of all these technologies. Going forward, future trends in sustainability, of course, all that we have discussed so far is going to further get built on. So circular economy integration will continue to take place. More and more companies are now looking at how they can reuse the material, how they can take back material from the customers after it is not fit for use. So what will happen is customer will generally throw away the material in scrap, and that will be of very little use. However, the more and more we bring it back to the company, we can use it to create the same product and use less raw materials. Then decarbonization is going to continue. Net zero goals is now becoming a mandate by the government. So companies have to respond on these areas. Then sustainability, education and advocacy. We need to keep on educating people on this area, and this will now is becoming more and more relevant. And companies have started advocating on this. Increase efforts to educate and educate sustainability across sectors of society. And universities are bringing in new courses to educate people, and organizations are also offering these programs internally. Eco-friendly packaging innovations are happening every day. In fact, the latest one I just came to my mind is the cardboard beds which are being used in Olympics now. All the Olympians in their rooms, you have cardboard beds which are easy to reuse, recycle later on after the Olympics are over. So that is another way of eco-friendly furniture, you can say. Then AI and big data is, of course, increasing day by day, and it is giving us a lot of information, important information for adjusting our processes. So leveraging this data is going to go on increasing in the coming days, which is going to help us better use our resources and enhance our sustainability efforts. Blockchain for transparency and traceability is in its initial stages, and as we go forward, this technology will be used in many more different ways than it is being currently used. Then we have the smart cities and urban sustainability. Again, lot of initiatives in this area as well, using IoT, data analytics to create these smart cities so that resources can be optimally used, reducing environment impact. For example, Singapore is moving toward a smart nation initiative, and it aims to improve its urban living through technology and sustainability. So, well, this was something that I was able to put together for this group. Sorry for this one-way interaction. I would have loved to have discussions, because all these topics are not new to us. It is just that I was able to put it in one presentation for all of us to, listen about it. So, if anybody wants to share anything, any examples, or they have any question around this,
Sir, basically, I'm from English background, like my subject is English. How can
okay.
I, as a person, contribute to the sustainability that you are like teaching us? Yeah, you're telling us. How can I, as a person, contribute?
As a person, at an individual level, of course, after understanding these nuances, how can we build awareness among people? So you could conduct training sessions, you could, propagate this knowledge to many more people, and that is how one way you could contribute. Yeah, and of course, in teaching methodologies, I'm sure AI is going to bring in a lot of new areas. It is already bringing in new areas for learning. So we already have a lot of platforms that
Yes, sir.
are helping us learn, remotely. So this itself is a great space where So we don't have to travel to learning locations, and that reduces our travel energy that we are consuming, reduces our carbon footprint for not traveling. So your teaching process can also benefit the online platforms, and you can actually monitor the carbon footprint that you are reducing by not getting people to the classroom every time and using the online platform.
So we run a course like Anandam. There is a subject that is in addition to our other subjects. Can I get some activities for Anandam from any website that you can suggest me?
What is Anandam? What are you teaching in that space? What is that?
It is a kind of like CCA subject, co-curricular activity type, in which like we have topics like environment, pollution, and like plantation, and say no to polythene. These
Yes,
kind
yes.
of drives are there.
Yeah. So I think a nice thing you can do is you can bring in the awareness on how can we measure the benefits of maybe plantation, maybe water conservation. The more you are able to measure, so there are I'm sure on the website you will find how to measure the water footprint. You will find how to effectively use water for plantation. The more you can measure and bring in statistics and data, people will start becoming more aware, and they will be able to take actions in a much better way. I think that's what I can suggest at this point.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have soil testing lab also. So in that also we can do these kind of things.
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, the more data you can collect and then go for data analytics, you will be able to predict many of the things and give every time you can go on improving the advice that we give to farmers based on soil testing. So that's a very nice area where this can be implemented. Big data
That's
analytics.
that's great, sir. That's great. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
I would like to add, Abhishek sir, Dr. Pawan himself is very good in this field. Like you were saying, plastic and all. He never uses plastic, and wherever he goes, he never leaves trail of plastic. Like suppose you are going on a picnic or something, if he has any plastic bag, he will collect back and he saves the environment. So Abhishek sir, one thing we can do is practice what we preach. And a small another thing you can do is these days this is a new trend that we have tree plantation in the institutes. You can give dedicated saplings to students. They can name the many institutes are already doing. So they can have a tree in their name and give them the responsibility that every day or alternate days you have to give water. So for 4 years, if they are in degree, at least they will have free, and when they leave, they can give it to the next student. So small things we can do for sustainability.
Yes, ma'am. And even our Rajasthan government, sir, I would like to share, sir,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they have started a drive. Like they have a target of like 5 lakh plants through the government employees itself.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
only like they will be given increment next year. If
Yeah.
like they have the plant and they take care, not only कि
Okay.
photo खिंचवाना से plant लगवा के, in
Right,
fact
right.
they need to take care of that and they need to give the growth report of that plant.
Okay. Wonderful.
That's a wonderful initiative by the government, sir. Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Great.
sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Good afternoon,
this
sir.
is Dr. Manoj Sharma from Manipal. Actually,
Yes.
you talked a lot about the online teaching to
Hmm.
reduce the carbon footprints. But online
Hmm.
teaching has its limitations and it is not effective enough. Even
Hmm.
in your this lecture, you might feeling sometime you are teaching the ball.
Hmm.
So this is
Yeah.
the biggest issue.
Yeah. So you are absolutely right. We cannot replace in-person teaching with online teaching, but I think we can all agree that during COVID, this was the only way that we continued our learning process. So it is to be used in collaboration with in-person teaching. So, if you want to reach out to remote locations, how are we going to manage? And nowadays, getting people together in one location is a challenge. Even this lecture, I could give it because we were on this online mode, although it was
Yeah.
not similar to an in-person session. So we have to take advantage of technologies to optimize wherever possible. you will definitely agree that this online mechanism has helped us reach many more people, and we have more opportunities to learn than they were available earlier.
I have one question: how we can provide more and more benefit to our graduate students, especially we are here for the engineering courses and management courses, sir. And we are every semester we are doing some activities, what you have mentioned in your presentation. But moreover, we are looking some more ideas, sir, from your side.
Right. So I can suggest for your engineering students, one is when they are taking projects, how can they look at these technologies, Industry 4.0 technologies to integrate in their projects. That is one. The other is how can they also start learning additional courses along with their engineering courses or management courses, which is going to get augmented with the degree that they will be passing out with. For example, today there are a lot of courses on, say, data analytics, machine learning. So, if they are not part of our regular engineering courses, then we should encourage them to take up these courses, explain to them the benefits of how these technologies are now the next thing, So, all the participants here, I would strongly recommend to integrate this learning that we have had today in your sharing with the students and making them more aware of the impact of these technologies on sustainability. So we have to remain relevant and current with what is going on now. And only our curriculum may not help. We'll have to add on from external sources as well. Thank you so much.